The Biden administration is talking about giving the COVID-19 vaccine to Guantanamo Bay prisoners, including the alleged mastermind behind 9/11, before other elderly people, people with pre-existing conditions, and law-abiding Americans. Are students okay with this? Surely they have some people in their lives who are at higher risk. Are they okay with them not getting the vaccine before Guantanamo Bay prisoners? Let's see what they have to say. The COVID-19 vaccine has begun distribution over the past few months. There's a lot of talk about who should be prioritizing getting the vaccine, whether it be elderly people, people with pre-existing conditions, those at higher risk. Do you have anyone in your life personally who falls into one of these categories, and have they been able to get the vaccine?
My stepdad has one of those existing conditions, and yeah, he's not been able to get the vaccine just yet.
Yeah, so my dad is 60 and had a heart attack a couple years ago. He was able to get the vaccine. We should be vaccinating those who are older and in worse places than I am, because I know if I get it, I'm fine.
My grandma.
I signed up my parents for like phase 1B because like they're like they're like 64, so like they're just like right under 65, but they both have like high blood pressure, so we're just like waiting for like what like Fairfax says about that.
I actually have pre-existing conditions, so I'm in 1B, but I think if I just like knew more about like when my turn actually would be, it'd be really helpful.
I have grandparents and my parents are older. It frustrates me that like teachers haven't been able to get it yet.
You mentioned your parents and grandparents. Have they been able to get vaccinated?
So my grandparents have, my parents have not, and like my mom's a teacher. That like is kind of frustrating.
One of the things the Biden administration is talking about possibly doing is vaccinating Guantanamo Bay prisoners, including one of which would be the alleged mastermind behind 9/11. They could be getting the vaccine before people like your parents, before some elderly people, before people like you with pre-existing conditions. Hearing that your stepdad, hasn't gotten the vaccine yet, he's looking to a lot of other people, in America that are at higher risk, law-abiding American citizens. Hearing that, does it bother you at all that he might be more concerned about vaccinating those people than people like, y'all's grandparents or other law-abiding American citizens? Do you think that this is kind of messed up? Do you think maybe we should be prioritizing those people and not, Gitmo prisoners?
Yeah, no, not them first. Yeah. Not them first. I think we need to worry about frontline workers and people who are just like good members of our society who are really at risk.
I guess that's probably concerning. I feel like we should probably give it to those people, like high-risk people first, like your grandma and stuff.
I would like to think that those that have been doing right are the ones that are getting priority, but I also don't think that it's necessarily right to deny someone something like a vaccine that could help them like live.
I think my knee-jerk reaction is definitely to be bothered by that.
Obviously, you don't want people who have done bad things to get this vaccine before, like my grandparents, but at the end of the day, there's the logistics of it are complicated.
Yeah, I mean, they probably shouldn't be getting priority, but they still deserve the right to get it at some point, I think.
I do agree that healthcare workers and elderly and high-risk people should get it first. It's not just prisoners who are put at risk in prisons. It's also the COs and the guards and the patrols that actually go throughout that prison. You got to remember, not all these people are in there for a long time. Some of these people are in there for only a matter of days. They're in there for things like maybe a speeding ticket, etc.
Guantanamo Bay?
Well, I mean, not in Guantanamo Bay, but, in other prisons, etc.
Maybe a better solution would be to vaccinate the workers, vaccinate the workers, vaccinate the other people. If they get vaccinated, they won't really be at any risk from the prisoners.
So the thing about it is not vaccinating prisoners in the middle of an epidemic can technically violate their some of their constitutional rights. We have an amendment that provides for that prevents cruel and unusual punishment.
You would consider it cruel and unusual punishment if they didn't get the vaccine?
Yes.
Cruel and unusual punishment for prioritizing law-abiding citizens over them?
There's a lot that law-abiding citizens who are out can do to protect themselves. There's not a whole lot that prisoners can do to protect themselves. They can't really quarantine because you're in prison, everyone's there. No,
Gitmo is pretty isolated. Does that make you worry at all about Biden's decision-making, that he would prioritize Gitmo prisoners, or does it not concern you?
Yeah, it raises some red flags, but also no candidate's going to be perfect, and I have to just understand that I'm not going to agree with everything that he has to say, but it's the lesser of two evils in this situation.
In the back of my head, I'm just like, why would they do that first, yeah.
I would hope that there's a rhyme or reason behind that maybe I don't know.
I mean, Biden is the first, president COVID-wise that is full on with the vaccine, and prioritize the science other than, just, random facts.
Hey there, my name is Hannah Catherine Smith and I'm with Campus Reform. To continue seeing videos like these, be sure to subscribe here. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the Campus Reform team as an investigator or a correspondent, you can join the team here. And if you'd like to help us continue making videos like these, donate here.